Welcome to Business on Top, where women are building empires, becoming breadwinners, and redefining the dynamics of their households without a playbook. I'm Kaeli Lindholm, mom, wife, founder, and leadership advisor to a portfolio of female-owned businesses generating over $100 million in annual revenue. Most business advice was never designed for women leading and building at this level. That's why each week I'll open the vault and share a leadership lesson from real experience, so you can navigate the decisions you're making every day with confidence. If you're a serious female founder and leadership feels messy right now, you're in the right place. We are rewriting the rules for this next era of how women lead and build. This is Business on Top. Let's go. Hello, and welcome back to Business on Top. It's your host, Kaeli here, and today's conversation, we are going to talk about communication inside of partnership, specifically what it looks like to build advocacy and alignment inside your relationship while you are building something very big, maybe even something you can't even see. I remember this experience with my husband very clearly when I first started KLC. At the time, I borrowed 30 grand of our personal savings to launch the business. And for us then, that felt like a really big deal. It felt risky and it felt uncomfortable. It felt like one of those decisions that I'd say changes the emotional temperature of our household pretty much overnight. Him questioning me, like, are we really doing this? And looking at me, are we actually going to be experiencing a return on this investment? He had friends that used to talk about their wives' jobbies, which gosh, drove me nuts. And at the end of the day, truthfully, I understood why he felt that way, because at that point, there wasn't really any evidence yet that I was going to bring an ROI. I had left a very lucrative corporate career to essentially go into professional debt. And before I had begun to pay myself back, I also decided it would be a good idea. Well, actually, I became absolutely convinced that I needed to attend a Tony Robbins business mastery event. And that meant I would be going to a 5-day event, and the investment was going to be another $10,000, which on paper was, I guess, ridiculous. I get it. I had already stretched financially to start the business. The company was still young. And now I was sitting across from my husband trying to explain why spending another $10,000 on myself and my growth felt essential. But what I realized during that conversation is that as we were talking about this investment and I was kind of like going to make this pitch, you know what? I wasn't really asking him for permission. I was asking for advocacy. I remember telling him, I know you can't fully see it yet, but I am building a multi-million-dollar company and I need you to trust me at the level of where I'm going, not just at the level of where we currently are. And that conversation really changed everything. It changed the whole future, really, and the way that we communicated about the business going forward, because we stopped talking about whether the investment itself made sense and started talking about the bigger vision we were actually building toward together. We were aligned around the mission. We knew what the goal was, and the belief that sometimes growth requires investing in the person before the results have fully materialized. And I think this is such an important conversation for women specifically, because many of us are navigating roles and dynamics that previous generations simply didn't have a roadmap for. We might even be earning a level of income our household never planned for. Today, women are becoming visionaries, providers, investors, leaders, decision makers, and true wealth creators inside of their households. But just because we're growing doesn't mean our partnership automatically evolves alongside that ambition. It really does require communication and clarity, and sometimes having the courage to have uncomfortable conversations and communicate your vision with conviction before the evidence fully exists. Because gaining support of your partner in your relationship is really built through context, helping to connect the dots for them of where you're going instead of just reacting to what you're doing now. And when you do this well, the conversation really moves from justification or explanation to, hey, here's the plan, and here's why this decision gets me closer to our shared or understood goals. So here's what I know to be true. Your partner, and by the way, insert whatever that looks like for you, a business partner, a spouse, a parent, a friend, you name it, they will trust your vision more deeply and actually adopt and embody that vision for themselves when they can feel that you trust in it first. So this week, we're going to continue our alt husband panel. And in the second half, we'll go deeper into what support actually looks like, how couples navigate uncertainty together, and what creates trust inside of a relationship while one person is actively building something that asks both people to grow. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. Without further ado, let's dive into leadership lesson number 4. Your partner cannot support a vision they don't understand. What have you observed about the mental load your partner carries as she scales her business?
She's just like on Instagram and on her phone all the time. And she starts talking faster and faster and faster and spiraling. And I used to be the one who would spiral. Like I perseverate over lots of stuff, but not like she does. And it's as you're scaling.
Yeah.
And I know that the solution is to scale. So we can be done with it, and then it's on my shoulders, but I can't tell her that, so I have to wait for the process to sort of play itself out.
I think we also need to preface that they have 4 babies at home and like 14 dogs or something like that.
Yes.
Oh my
This
God.
is a full load over here. So also stage of life, right? Like,
Yes.
And then the Fox boys are 15, 17, 16, 14.
And
like
16, 12. Yeah.
16, 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
Thankfully, the older boy is driving now, so it alleviates some of the pressures in the afternoons. And, when she comes home, like, I'm like, you got to give us warning when you're on your way home. But, yeah. So, yeah, we come,
Lined up?
Oh, yeah.
Sound of music?
Hudson, Sawyer's usually out there. He's at practice, but Hudson and I will be, in full, like, ready to go. But I'll make sure I get that Diet Coke. It's waiting for her when she gets home, making sure dinner's ready to the best of my ability.
You guys are making me look bad. I don't.
Diet Coke, it's the key.
All right.
It's all about the Diet
We'll
Coke.
get her latte. So.
Well, Well, Starbucks is in there too. In the mornings,
See?
So question for us, for some advice for us women. How can we better support our partners when the demands of leadership feel heavy and consuming?
I mean, like you said before, the other woman was up here, you guys wear so many hats. You have to be, the provider, you have to be the nurturer, you have to be the giver, you have to be the financial, you have to be the lover, you have so many hats. So we don't wear that many hats, right? I mean, it's. I think about it sometimes. Well, you do, right?
I'm like a clown out there juggling
I'm
5.
I'm impressed with what all these women do because I see it with Meg. I'm like, gosh, and then have to come home and you're still working, right? It's a tough question. Again, it just goes back to being supportive, being a good listener. Really. I mean, we have help with the house too, thankfully. I mean, we have people that help us, around the house. And so that is a big part of it, like having the house nice and being a house manager, so to speak. It's making sure the grounds are nice and everything's nice. And when she wants it and she needs it, it's there, right? Yeah, no, I don't do it.
He's not doing it, no.
But yeah,
I think it's an interesting kind of spin or perspective of that, right? Because the question was like, how can women better support their men?
Yeah.
And you're saying,
I'm saying
house clean,
right.
but
it's the simple things.
Right, but what I'm hearing is when we come home from work and the house is clean and the lawn is mowed and things are, we are better to our spouses.
100%.
Yeah?
100%.
So maybe green light to resource ourselves as much as possible at home.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, we always laugh, like, as soon as she comes home, it's like, open the mail, open all the packages. And then right to the shower, right in bed. And then she's on the phone. She's always constantly working. So that, like I said, I just need to make that transition from work to home, make that transition easy. I'm good. I'm not the doghouse, right?
These guys.
So.
I think for us, like we always talk it out before we make the decision for the office, or like if we have an issue with an employee, we have an issue with whatever, buying something, we'll talk it out. She'll allow me to be part of the process, but she's the ultimate say. And I get vetoed a lot, but she allows me to be part of the process. And if there is a big issue at the office, we'll both go in there together with that employee or to solve that problem. So.
I mean, I like just being in the loop. You know, I have these weekly meetings with our office manager because I just want to know what's going on. And yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll like chime in and so forth, but that's what I think you guys can do is just keep them involved. I think if you really silo yourself, I think it's going to feed into them not understanding what you're doing, not being able to appreciate it. And again, as I tell Lauren all the time, you're not asking for permission. You're just talking about how things are going, how frustrating it might be, but if you can do that, then that allows us to be able to have that sort of relatability.
Yeah.
And then also listen to us when we complain.
Questions from the audience? Yes?
I was wondering if it's okay if I chimed in on something.
No. You're not up here, are you? No.
Kaeli, thank you for having George up there. That was fun. What I obviously know there's not a lot of time for, and I think is important for many of you guys in the room, and I hope you don't mind me saying, George, but this has been a really difficult relationship, us working together. And getting to this now multi-million-dollar mark has created tension with him and I. I know he's, as the male, as the physician, supposed to be the one who brings in the money and does. I just happen to do a little more. Has been hard at times for us, and learning how to communicate with each other so that there's reciprocal respect and understanding. George is very opinionated. I'm really opinionated. So in fact, I haven't talked to him all day. He's in the doghouse right now.
You couldn't get that said.
Yeah. And so.
Miranda, you don't say.
But also, there's not someone that I trust more to come home and lay my emotions on and know that my best interest is always at heart for him. And I think that is invaluable. Sometimes I think I'm just going to go do this on my own. But I wouldn't survive. So.
Way easier to ask permission.
Wait, I got to give her a kiss. No, a second. There we go. See, now I'm back in the house.
So these guys love each other so much that they stopped having kids like
You're
3
back in
kids
the
ago.
house.
And then every fight, Lauren calls me. I'm like, don't tell me.
Oh yeah.
Another
Yeah.
baby.
Number 4 is he's 2 years old, so it's about time for another one.
Yeah. It's like, they're so cute though. Yeah. All right. What are small things that have made a big difference in helping you feel appreciated and respected as your spouse's role has expanded?
I think when we go, like I was just at AmSpa. I got to attend AmSpa. I went to the meetings with Leslie, and I think she introduces me as the CFO and like not just my husband, and just like I have a true job with her. And so that's kind of, was Employee of the Month last month. So.
And what's that reward?
What's that?
What's the reward for that?
The Employee of the Month. I got to pick my candy, and they got to give it out to all the patients and stuff. But yeah, just like it's not just like, oh, that's my husband. I just call him when the toilet's backed up or the computer's not working. But I'm actually an employee. Like
It's good.
And yeah. So. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I noticed that. So official. Well, you earned it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't mind being Meg Fox's husband. I get that, especially around town.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard.
Social media, and like, I'll check the post. He's in it, 500 likes. About something, at work.
like the research paper you spent like a year and a half working on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
What do the boys call you?
Daddy.
Daddy.
The little one calls me daddy. The big
Like
one,
daddy's home?
Like, no. They. I don't think they realize what I do. I don't think they just think I'm a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
That's what they think I do.
That's
and I love
a
it because
compliment
once I drop the
as a
kids,
dad.
once I drop my 11-year-old off at school, then that's my time to go run to meet with the inspectors or run here to get thankfully I've got good guys that work with me, so I trust them implicitly, so it allows me the freedoms again. So I have an 8:30 window till 2:30, and that's when I work the most, and then after that I'm done. So obviously I'm doing a good job at hiding what I do from them, what I do.
Yeah.
But I'm able to pick and choose my battles. But again, I need to be available to her all the time. If the phone rings, I gotta pick it up. I have to. Because I know that she's seeing patients, and I know that it's probably not like questioning how my day is, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, I get that. When Meg Fox calls me, I pick up.
Yeah, you got it. Like, like I could be up on a ladder, or I could be doing something, and I'm in a meeting with an inspector, and he's bitching me out, or pardon me, he's yelling at me or something like that. I'm like, I have to take this call. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. So, and typically it's usually something that is important, and I just have to be available for that.
Oh.
I think what helps me, and something Lauren does, and I've talked about this before, is just making sure that I'm included. Because what will happen is that may have a meeting with people that she knows really well, and then I'm sort of introduced later on. Oh, he's the medical director, or this is my husband, and I mean, like you were saying, Jim. Like, I don't necessarily feel like I need to be recognized for any of this, because more than anything is because it was really built by her, and I think that she deserves to have that recognition, and I'm okay with that, for sure. But it is nice to be to be seen as just more the husband, or more included in the conversations, So
the small things that have made a big difference in helping you feel appreciated or respected it is involving you in.
Like I'll give you an example.
We're kind of learning each of their love languages. Are you guys noticing here? Yeah.
No, it's flattering. Yeah. Even though I don't come from the industry. I mean, I think it's flattering because I've seen her grow so much, and it's really neat to be the kind of maybe the backbone a little bit, but being able to really be the backbone to let her grow and do that.
Well, I'm going to just speak. So I'll speak on all of our behalfs. That is very much respected and looked up to, and very sexy to have a man that backs you. Like, that's how we feel. Like it's a weird thing to say. Like, I know that men are meant to hunt and women are meant to nurture and gather, like in our primal being. But as a high growth entrepreneur, and like we're doing the thing, like to come home and to think like I have like daddy's home, like that's amazing. Like that, all of that support that you talk about, like that is the backbone. Like it literally is everything, not just I'm the support, How many of you, I want to just get a hands up, have husbands involved in your business? Okay, and then how many don't?
How many would want them to be involved? I would love it.
Oh, he's not, but you would, yes.
Why would you want him to be involved?
I need the support. I need more. Like, I need some things taken off my plate, and he's super supportive, so supportive. But I would love for him to understand like the intricacies a little bit more. And he's retiring in 3 years, so I actually talk about Brett
Yeah.
to my husband.
The joke in our house is, how do I send my husband to Brett's finishing?
Yes, we did. We talked about that, didn't we? Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Actually, Patrick's going to go to my class tomorrow night, so
But I do think it's important. I have to say, like, and this, I love watching your guys' relationship, and you seem very much in love. Like, not that I've been sitting in your house or something and know that, but also I do think like we have kids at home, like the young kids. Like, I'm just looking at the stages of life. Like, I'm kind of a little more here. Some of you are like got the little ones. Like Lauren, yours are 2 to
2, 4, 9, 11.
2, 4, 9, and 11, right? And then two independent working people, right? I mean, every relationship is different, and it really does like have to come down to understanding and communication at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I love talking to husbands. Like when I see him, like, cause if I drop Leslie off at an office, I'll see a husband. But I love talking to him and say, hey, you need to get into it. And then like John, I love talking to John. We've gone like shooting before and out to dinner, and Patrick. So yeah, it's great. I think we need to build like a culture with the husband.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Leslie, you were going to say something.
I was just going to say that, you couldn't help it, something to the effect of just making sure that we remembering the humility there too, because I think sometimes it's pretty easy to run them down and not give them that opportunity to be involved because we're just like, forget it, I'll do it myself. I can do it myself because we know we can trust ourselves, right? And so it's pretty easy to just kind of not involve them as much as we could. So for those of you who maybe want your husbands to be more involved or, just are wishing that, maybe just remember a little bit of that too. Like just be open to listening to them and asking them to help you. But I mean, I've been doing this 26 years, so I had the little babies when we were starting our business and going through this whole thing. And I kind of was raised a little bit old-fashioned, and my mom was always like, you always have to prioritize your husband. And so I did. I'd be exhausted, but I'm like, okay, I got to pay attention to him. I got to give him the love. I've got to do that. Like I kind of was raised that way, and I think that really helped with marriage and, even with the kids and being exhausted. It's just easy to be like, I'm so tired, I'm just going to bed. But like, I still go to the baseball games that he wants me to go to, and I do all the things that he enjoys as well. And so it's just kind of that give and take. And I'm not, trying to pat myself on the back, but I think oftentimes it's very easy to say, I deserve this time alone. I deserve this for myself, and not think of your partner in that way. So just kind of remembering that too.
So my husband's an entrepreneur and a lawyer, and so very much in his own lane, and I definitely use him as a soundboard. But I think starting my business 5 years ago, and someone mentioned being more masculine. Like, I feel like I've had to step up and be more masculine in my business. And so sometimes it's hard for me to turn that off when I come home. So I'd love to hear from your perspective of I have two young children as well. So, I want to step more into my feminine when I come home, but how have you guys navigated that over the years? Was that ever an issue? And maybe this is a question for everyone here, but I don't know, something I struggle with, so.
Yeah. No, it's hard. It's hard to decompress when you get home. I mean, I see it with Meg all the time. So
say for me, I make the decisions all day long, and I, like you said, something masculine or so when I get home, I'm so freaking needy. Yes, get me a drink. What's for dinner? I don't want to make a decision. I don't want to, and that helps me be a little bit more push back on the power struggle. At home, I'm so dependent. but it helps because it kind of plays into the relationship a little bit. Not in a I don't know how to describe it. And I definitely have met other friends too that's their role at work. They're like, I'm doing all this, and then the husband, I make all the travel plans. I do a lot of the planning. That is not his strong suit. But once we're on vacation, I'm not getting an Uber. I'm not getting a chair at the beach. I'm not getting a coffee in the morning. I'm not doing anything. I'm on vacation. And I'm bringing you with me, and you can wait on me.
I'm her pool boy. I am the pool boy.
But I think it's just a role dynamic that it's not, it helps because at work I'm that person, and at home I can be a different person, and it plays into, he's taking care of me at home.
Courtney, my friend Julie, she's like, you don't get what you want. People don't take care of you because you just do it. If you want them to take care of you, she says, I have no hands. That's her analogy. I can't. She's like, don't open the jar. Go ask for him to open the jar. You got to kind of be playful a little bit and turn kind of that feminine role on. Leslie, you said asking for help. That's so hard for me. I don't know about for all of you. It's it is not asking for help. Almost that's gotten us to where we are. And so it's almost admitting I need you, huh? Admitting your weakness. Yeah, weakness or something like that, right? We're trying to yeah.
I think Leslie does a good tactic. So I know when she gets home because I get the alarm that the garage is open. But she'll sit in the car for 20 minutes and probably decompress, get all of her texts,
What
calls.
are you doing in there?
Yeah. I'm just, and I make sure that she doesn't shut the garage door on herself, but with the car running. But so that's probably you're decompressed, and then yeah.
Right.
I gotta get to these texts that have been sitting here, and so that feels like I can get that off my plate, and then he usually has dinner ready.
Sorry.
Every night, and so then I just walk in, and then I can kind of enjoy not being at work for a few minutes until it picks up again. But
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, your husband's a lawyer. I don't know what he practices, but You know, it's tough because you both come home and you're like, oh, it's just hard to let go of the daily grind, right? Because then you've got kids to worry about. So it's like it never stops, you know? And I get it, you know? Even if I'm just running around all day, whatever I do. I mean, I'm in the car a lot, but like I get home and then I know that I try to be home when she gets home. You know, because that way, you know, I can meet her at the car, grab her purse, grab her stuff or whatever's in the car. I bring it inside, she'll open the packages, and then I'll carry them upstairs. We have a try-on party. You know, there's this whole routine. It's just I mean, it's the whole routine, right? So, you know, then I'll go get the Diet Coke, and then I'm off to hockey. So if I can get her settled before I leave for the rink, you know, it helps her. It helps her. That's just our role.
The Castellanos need another wife. You need a sister wife.
Oh no.
For you guys.
I know more women. But you know what's interesting though? I'll tell you. So, and it may not be the most popular perspective, but so I'm Mexican. I came from a household that was very chauvinist, right? My father called the shots, and my mom she worked, took care of the kids, and she had, you know, she really did have 2 full-time jobs, right? And as so we immigrated from Mexico when I was very young, and and I'm one of 8 kids, so a lot of children to take care of, right? Sure. And my dad would be running the business and so forth and doing his things, working, and he would come home, have the expectations of how things should be, and my mom would do that, and as well as taking care of the kids. We actually opened up a business in the United States. My dad spent a lot of time in Mexico, and in the United States, so I have 2 older sisters and then 6 brothers. My mom and my sisters basically ran the company, and they were huge influence in my life, just because I was able to see that we had basically a matriarchy. And my dad would actually be quite disrespectful to my mom and my sisters. He didn't feel like he was involved in the company enough, didn't make decisions. And as you mentioned, right, so they had to be a little bit more masculine, but ultimately what I learned from all this was how I didn't want a household to be, right? So it's interesting when I hear some of this stuff going on, it's almost like the reverse is happening. Like, I don't want a household where now the woman is the one who is making all the decisions and expecting the husband to always be available and you see what I'm saying? It's almost like the same thing that I grew up with is like it
like
could
the
be
Barbie movie. Like, you know, we're
we're swapping
objectifying men,
right? Yeah.
Right? Like,
and this is what I told Lauren is that so when Lauren started her business, one of the main reasons why I wanted her to do it was because we had 2 young girls, and I want my daughters to be able to have. Be able to know that they can do, literally they can do what they want, irrespective of their gender, right? But I want them to be respectful of others. I do not like it when there's this expectation of reverse roles, right? So anyway, my idea, oftentimes I talk about talking to each other, respecting each other, giving each other space, paths to get to the same spot, but really in a sort of like an agnostic perspective. So that's what I would recommend, is that making sure that you recognize that the partner at home or wherever they're doing also has their own baggage, their own things going on, and just really demand that you're treated as an equal, and then you treat them the same way. To me, that is very valuable, and like I said, that's what Lauren does for me, and that's what I really appreciate, that where even though I may have a very stressful job and I have a lot of stuff going on, my job is not any more important than her. I'm like you. The only 2 people that I answer my phone to are my wife and my mother, right? So I will be in the middle of a case and and it rings and I say, only answer, actually 3 then. If it's someone's having a heart attack, if it's my mom or Lauren, because I know what you called me, it's important, but it's just a sign of respect that I hope she has the same for me. So when I call her, it's the same thing. But I like this idea really of trying to be more like egalitarian. And that's the message that I want to teach my children.
Well, yeah, because you want them to have a partner in life who's going to honor, trust, respect them
yeah.
in every single way.
Yeah.
And support them. I mean, that's how, like, again, Lauren and I have been able to do this, and vice versa. We supported each other this whole process. And I feel very, very fortunate to have her in my life and in my corner and helping me with what I do. And as you all heard, she feels the same way about me, so.
Well, I think it's important this is obviously a quick blurb of like opening up this conversation, but to just talk about it. It's just not been talked about. And we talk about building businesses, right? This is what, we do. But to not place a tremendous amount of value on the ecosystem that actually feeds and supports and fuels that through the most important people in your life. Because at the end of the day, you're the sounding board. Who said it? The board of directors, right? Hillary this morning. Where is she back there? Yeah, I thought that was great. Like this is your head of your board. So it's important, and it's really been helpful hearing your perspectives. And I want to appreciate your candor and transparency and honesty, because none of us have perfect relationships, and truly we're all trying to figure this out as we go and build this sort of new plane as we're flying it, and in terms of the new era of roles in households and building businesses. So, any final questions before I let the men
I have a question.
loose?
I have a question.
Oh, one in the back.
So this is particularly pertinent to the couples both of whom have their own jobs and careers. How, if at all, have you enlisted extra support to help carry the family load, the home load, and everything else that's involved to like running a streamlined life? And on top of that, any unlocks that have been profoundly instrumental or, weightlifting in your lives?
We have help, and thankfully we're able to afford that help, right? So we have the cleaning ladies that come every week. We have another housekeeper that comes every Monday to help with the laundry and the clothing, because the last thing we feel like doing is folding laundry from a weekend full of hockey and clothes and a family of 4. I can imagine what your load's like. Oh my God.
Actually, I haven't done the laundry in 8 years. So.
No, I do. I mean, so we, that obviously I don't know if that's to answer your question, but we've enlisted the help of people to help us. Even with Meg at her work, even though it's considered a small business, she brought on an office manager, which has been amazing, because Meg now can kind of step back and let this person be the bad person, right? So that helps. So I help run the household with the help of our ladies who've been with us for many years, and I mean that helps us tremendously. I know it sounds like small, but like that, keeping the house nice. We both like a neat house. We're not slobs at all. We're not trying to teach our kids the same thing. But yeah, we like it neat. This is where we live. This is what you have to respect it. So that helps us. But even that transition was huge, because when I was working, Meg was working, and then she jumped ship and tried to open up her business. I was like, it was life-changing for us, really. And it's still life-changing. And I don't have that conversation a lot with a lot of people, because I don't want to seem like we're boasting or bragging about it, right? But when you enter into a certain tax bracket, it changes your life. It really does, for the better. And we're very humble about it. We're very blessed. But so that we utilize those tools to help us continue to grow.
And I think it's interesting what I'm saying about like maybe your priorities are, because everyone is different, right? So like in our household, so Lauren really likes also like a nice clean house, right? So we have people who can help us keep it clean. All of us kind of pitch in, but really, I think that's a big deal. One thing that Lauren and I decided early on was there are things that you have to do that you enjoy doing and things that you don't. So have someone else do the things that you don't, right? So let's say you enjoy cooking, cook. If you don't enjoy it, then have a company send you prepared meals, or have someone make it for you, right? So I think that is key, and I think it's worth investing in that. So if let's say you don't like doing laundry, then fine. Then find someone who can help you do their and give something else up in order to be able to do that. Second, it's more my thing than her thing, but I'll say like how much, because there's only so much that you can have other people do, right? At the end of the day, you still have to see your children every day. So, so we're like, okay, so someone has to put Nico to bed and Dre to bed and this and that, and it's just so painful. But so we'll come home and we'll be like, okay, Lauren, how much do you have to give? How much can I give? And sometimes just say, George, like I'm tapped out. Or usually it's me, I'll say, Lauren, I'm tapped out. But we'll say, I can give 10%, you give 90, or vice versa. And that kind of gives us clues. So talking about sort of like the secret sauce where that helps a lot. Being able to say, how much can I give tonight? So that's been very important. And then the last thing that Lauren started recommending that I was kind of goes hand in hand, that I was very hesitant to do, was spending time with just the two of us. I have a tremendous amount of guilt that I don't spend enough time with my children. I work a lot, Lauren works a lot, we do different events or whatever it might be, and I want to be able to spend as much time as I can with my kids. I mean, my 2-year-old, I will honestly see him maybe an hour a day, Monday through Friday. And to go away for the weekend and not see him is very, very hard, but we have to do it because we burned out, we get disillusioned, we're not happy, we fight. So spending some time with your partner is going to be important. So don't do the things you don't like doing. If you can't afford it, have someone else do it, and give something up in order to be able to pay for it. Say if you have 100% or 0% to give, and make that deal with your partner. It should not be tit for tat. And third, find time to have date nights, go away for the weekend, do stuff together. Right?
Master class by Dr. George. Yeah.
I think one thing that hasn't been brought up is getting your family involved in the practice also. So like our daughter, our oldest, actually both are involved, but our oldest is 27, actually runs our front office. And she, like we have our own text thread, the three of us, and she is basically Leslie's calendar. So Leslie will say, hey Emma, what am I doing this day? So, and Emma will be texting her, hey mom, you have your patients here, where are you at? So when they do get that to age, have them, like she's worked at our office since she was 16, but to get them involved. So I think that's one thing that hasn't been mentioned yet. Like we were talking about how like we're handling it all, but we're also using our daughter to help us out too. So
that's a good idea.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
Right. That's my dream. So great. Well, this has been wonderful. How about a round of applause for the husband? Thank you all so much. If you are listening to this and something in you is stirring, I want you to know this is exactly where the work begins. This is the space between where you've been leading reactively and where you are being asked to lead from a new framework. And the truth is that next level of leadership doesn't come from more information. It comes from putting yourself in rooms and environments that challenge how you think, how you decide, and how you show up inside of your business. That's exactly why we built the Pop Leadership Academy. It's a space for founders who are no longer looking for surface level strategy, but who are ready to evolve how they lead, how they build, and how they scale so the businesses they create can fully support the life they want to live inside of. You can learn more about the Pop Leadership Academy and apply through the link in show notes. And in the meantime, get more inspiration delivered directly to your inbox through my weekly briefing, The Blueprint, at klcleadership.com/blueprint. Until next time, keep leading life first and business on top.